Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, interesting news coming out of the heavyweight division, and yes, it is about our favorite subject, which is in fact Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, because there never seems to be any shortage of news when it comes to these two fighters following their blockbuster rematch that took place in February. Now, your main man, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson, he was on Instagram Live recently and he was talking to Fat Joe. For those of you who don't know who Fat Joe is a popular, or he was a popular rapper back in the 2000s. And Mike Tyson and him are both from the New York City area. So they've been friends for years, and they were on Instagram Live chopping it up and talking about a whole wide array of topics from Mike Tyson's boxing career to Fat Joe's stories from the hood and all kinds of stuff. But in the midst of all that, Mike Tyson spoke about the Wilder Fury fight and the third fight, and particularly from the Deontay Wilder side of things. And he kind of explained that, Deontay Wilder, that he shouldn't get down on himself, that Deontay Wilder has a chance to really shock Tyson Fury when they go into their third fight in their trilogy on October the 3rd. So let's get into Mike Tyson's quotes, and we will in fact dissect them from there. He said, I quote, "Listen, Wilder didn't fight the same fight he fought the first fight. In the first fight, he fought with the confidence like he could win. The second fight, he fought like he didn't have no zest, no life in him. I just don't think he was the same fighter after the first fight. He couldn't rise to the occasion again." He then continued by saying, I quote, "I know I don't expect a walkover by Tyson Fury. There's always a chance. Everyone always has a chance. It just depends on how much they want to give into it. If Wilder wants to dedicate his life to really winning this fight, anything can happen. Wilder can still make a lot of money. He shouldn't feel sad or discouraged. He should continue to go out there and fight with a lot of zest and a lot of confidence." So very wise words from one of boxing's true warriors, the youngest undisputed heavyweight champion of all time, the Iron Mike Tyson. Now listen, I think this is probably something we should talk about more here on True School Sports, because as much as I love Tyson Fury, and listen, I made some very positive videos about Tyson Fury. People have been calling your boy BT in True School Sports a fanboy of Tyson Fury. But listen, I can separate my feelings and my personal perspectives of how I feel how great he is from what reality is. And the reality is Tyson Fury is a guy that in his career has never made a successful title defense. Just like Shannon Briggs, people don't consider Shannon Briggs a great heavyweight, and Tyson Fury and Shannon Briggs have the same amount of heavyweight title defenses, and they've both been two-time heavyweight champion. So with that being said, this is Tyson Fury's chance to prove that he can be a consistently great fighter, because he's been a great fighter in his career, but really only on two nights. As far as in the big fights, the only two big fights of his career, or three big fights in his career. So he's three big nights. And people out there, there's many skeptical people out there that think because of his up and down bipolar personality that it's not no foregone conclusion that he would beat Deontay Wilder in the third fight, or that he would even beat Anthony Joshua when they fight, contrary to what I've been saying in my last couple of videos. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with what Iron Mike is saying. Deontay Wilder, he can go out there and win a third fight, and it really depends on how much he wants to dedicate his life to winning this fight. Is this just going to be a retirement cash out payday for Deontay Wilder, or can he dig deep? Can he look into his soul of souls and find some special stuff about him? Find that extra bit of quality in terms of his character, and grab his balls and show that, hey, February 22nd, Tyson Fury was a better man. He beat my ass fair and square, but listen, the third fight, I'm a different fighter. I needed that loss to get me in line, and maybe it was him getting his ass whipped and humiliated. That's gonna take maybe it took all that for us to get the best version of Deontay Wilder. But I just sincerely believe, from the Wilder side of things, from the Wilder perspective of things, he's gonna have to make some serious changes in camp. I mean, serious changes in camp. As far as who he surrounds himself with, he's got to get a trainer that commands his respect. He's got to get a trainer that's been there and done it with heavyweights before. He's got to get a trainer that's a bit old school. I'm not going to tell him who that should be. I mean, there's plenty of options out there for him. Obviously, I'm very good friends with Stacey McKinley, and I've interviewed him recently, and he has extended his hands out to Wilder if Wilder wants to help. You can check the video out here where he said all that. But you know, as much as I don't want to admit it, like the third fight between Fury and Wilder, if Fury isn't prepared and if Fury shows any sort of the bipolar um, inconsistencies that we've seen in the past, if Wilder does his part and he puts his best foot forward, and I'm not saying he's got to break the house down and rebuild it in 4 months, but just make some tweaks, make some minor tweaks to his to his overall posture in the ring and how far he spreads his feet and just minor things. If he can make one or two subtle changes to his skill set, it could go a long way towards winning this fight and making him a more dangerous and harder fighter to beat for Tyson Fury. And if Tyson Fury isn't prepared, if he shows any of the mental or bipolar inconsistencies we've seen in the past, like when he beat Vladimir Klitschko and he just fell into depression, then who knows? Maybe the third fight we're talking about, Deontay Wilder, whoop it up on Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder is now two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Deontay Wilder has now shown some special stuff about him. So, I'm gonna go with Iron Mike, man. Iron Mike's been there. He's did it. He fought some of the greatest heavyweights who ever lived. Been undisputed. In terms of skill set in his prime, not many heavyweights in the history of boxing in their primes were as skilled as Mike Tyson is. I know a lot of delusional Mike Tyson fans say things like that, but it is true. He was a special fighter in his prime. And he's a very wise person, too. I don't think we talk about how wise and how astute Mike Tyson is when it comes to boxing, because the guy's a boxing savant. He's a boxing historian, and he understands and has a deep understanding of the psychological parts of boxing, because he had one of the most psychologically aware and astute boxing minds of all time that mentored him, in the great Cus D'Amato. So that's Mike Tyson's just basically perspective on Wilder Fury 3. He thinks that Wilder has a chance to go out there and shock Fury, but that it's going to take him really dedicating his life to winning this fight. And does Wilder have it in him at this point in his career, even with the ass whipping he took on February, to do that? The jury remains on that one. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. But like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.